If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement, Male Advantage ebook, or my personal workout and diet plan, all links are in the bio. Okay guys, so I want to talk to you a lot quickly about assets and liabilities. A lot of people's reference for assets and liabilities are very limited, okay? There's almost 3 stages to this. So a lot of people's assets and liabilities are just like, if it's an asset, it's something you own. If it's a liability, it's just something that costs you. Okay, that's like the basic version of it. But then Rich Dad Poor Dad came out, and Rich Dad Poor Dad is it was good. It's very good, but it's basic. It's like key stage fucking 2 maths, you know what I mean? It's cool. The guy's made a lot of money, but it's a different era of thinking. And when I made that Bill Gates video recently about his assets not being that good, a lot of people were like, "Oh, that's nuts. That's insane. You know, a car isn't an asset." And when people say a car isn't an asset, I'm like, "Oh, you've read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Like, you've got key stage 2 fucking level thinking, okay?" Like, he's right that the car costs you. It's a bill, so therefore it's a liability. You know, it's the same with the house. Unless you're renting it out and making money off it, then just owning it is a liability. It's costing you every single month, okay? Yeah, of course you can sell it in the future, but it's not an asset until you benefit financially. But for me, this is so limited. This is an old guy way of looking at the world where everything is financial, everything's money-based. I just don't like that approach. I think it's very old school. I think there's more to life than just putting like 7 billion in the bank account and just worrying all about your finances. Just sat there all day looking at cash flow forecasts. Like, there's so much more, okay? So I want to give you the modern first man approach to kind of assets and liabilities and the way I look at it. Now, assets aren't just financial. Like, the example I've said to people is, if a woman's got a massive pair of tits, is that an asset? I bet you didn't think the video was going this way, did you? I told you it wasn't just financial. But this is why the Rich Dad Poor Dad kind of approach and this old school approach is just financial. It's like an accountant's look at the world, okay? It's very grey. There's not much colour in it. But if a woman's got a huge pair of tits and a nice ass, would she call that an asset? You know, people would say she's got some lovely assets, like back in the day, right? Well, of course it's an asset. Does it make her life better? Yeah. Does she make 20 grand a month on OnlyFans because of those assets? Yeah. If a woman's got a beautiful face and she's in a finance job, which, believe me, I worked in finance, it happens, okay? If she's got a pretty face, she's probably getting hired. If she has double D tits and a pretty face, is she going to be earning 6 figures per year from a finance job? It's not guaranteed, but she's going to get a lot closer than most other women, okay? Because this isn't sexist. Like I said many times, I love women. I think women are great. They add so much value to life. But at the same time, there's things that I just see in the world, and I've just got to report on them. That's what I've seen. Most women come in the office at 8:59 and they leave at 4:59. They do, you know, the bare minimum number of hours and they leave, right? But the pretty ones seem to have like 60, 70k, 80k per year jobs. The ones with giant racks seem to have better jobs. You know, the ones with the nice asses seem to have better paid jobs. It's not by accident, okay? And as a lot more women are, you know, rising up to powers of position now, that's changing. But over the last 20 or 30 years, if you were hot, you had a better job. You know, you got pumped up that career ladder, so to speak. There's a girl that I used to work with. I've worked with a lot of girls, so that isn't outing anybody. She would sleep with the boss, right? Or before I got there, she would sleep with the boss. It was like a well-known story. And she was on like 70, 80,000 per year. And he would take her to like meetings and stuff. Because she was pretty, they'd usually wrap up the deal. Because the guy sat opposite was just looking at her, thinking about her, smiling at her. That it would usually like end up wrapping up the deal. And then this guy would just like take her back to a hotel, celebrate by giving her loads of money and sleeping with her. That's not happening for us, okay, guys? That's an asset. Are you telling me if she wasn't pretty or didn't have the body that she had, she'd be getting those opportunities? Okay, so with me saying that, an asset is anything that makes your life better. That's the way I look at it, okay? Anything that improves your life. So with that new mindset, is a car an asset? Well, financially, no. However, if you can afford it comfortably, so let's say you've got 200,000 in the bank and you've paid for a 20, 30 grand car, very nice new car, and it draws eyeballs and you get women because of that car, which people say, oh, that wouldn't happen. Women won't like it. They do, okay? Let's live in the modern world. Women like shit. They like stuff. A guy pulls up in a brand new car compared to an old shitty one that has the alloys missing. We've all seen the cars, or one of the door panels is grey and the rest of the car is red. It's like taken off. We've all seen cars like that. And it's like 10 years old compared to something that's pretty brand new, 1 or 2 years old, looks shiny and new. Is that an asset? If all these new hot women are now interested in you, if you feel like the man when you're driving around in it, if you feel confident, if it boosts your self-esteem and you feel good and your life just feels better, is that an asset? If you can afford it comfortably and it doesn't affect your finances, then yeah, it's an asset. That's how a car can be an asset. That is why I said Bill Gates kind of has shitty stuff. Because for me, being like one of the richest men in the world and just walking around in like a purple Vickers sweater, I don't know, that doesn't excite me. I'd rather dress up a little. I'd rather have a personal trainer and be in like sick shape and be paying somebody, like at his age, I'd probably pay somebody to just like give me the perfect steroid concoction that doesn't impact my health, like some designer drug that just makes me look jacked like Jeff Bezos did. Well, that's all assets. Like, these are things that are costing you, but they're assets because they're making your life better. Like Jeff Bezos, as much as people say he lost all the money with that woman, I don't think his new woman's particularly nice. She's a bit fake. She's probably better than his ex, right? He's probably having better sex. It's probably more enjoyable. So that hit that he took, maybe the woman's not worth it, but that financial hit that he took is probably worth it in terms of life enjoyment. He's probably much happier now. The sex is probably better. He probably feels like he's with a better woman. He's probably happier. He probably feels younger in himself, and he got in shape. And the cost of those designer steroids and the cost of that divorce, which is why marriage should never happen, because you wouldn't be in that scenario. But because of all of that, the cost of actually improving your life is more of that woman is somewhat an asset to his life. Because with the money that he's got, she could be a gold digger all she wants. She's never going to drain him of all of his cash, right? So the improved sex, the improved happiness, the youthful woman that's around him all the time, with probably the jiggly boobs and whatnot, he's probably much happier. So in that sense, that woman is an asset to his life. It's like if you find a woman who's almost like a trophy wife, she's absolutely beautiful, you get to sleep with her every night. She's a little bit more expensive than the other girls, but you can afford it comfortably. Is that an asset to your life? Well, yeah, it is. If it doesn't affect your financials and doesn't affect your life, and you get to sleep with this 9/10 every single night of the week, and you're enjoying yourself, you get to walk along the street, feel like the man and show her off, that's an asset. Are you the only one fucking her? Well, yeah, then she's an asset to your life. Are you the only one that gets to squeeze that ass? Yeah, well, she's an asset to your life. Are you the only one who gets to see her in lingerie? Yeah, that's an asset to your life. That's something that's benefiting you. And that's how I see assets and liabilities, okay? And it is usually only a liability if it fucks you up financially. There's like travel and there's time, like you're losing time, like a girlfriend can be a liability in a time sense. You can get a job that's too far away and now your life setup is worse. This is how it all ties into life setup. Your life setup's worse because now you actually have to travel 2 hours to work. You're losing 2 hours either side, which means you're sleeping less, you don't have time for the gym. There's like liabilities can come in different formats as well, but it's usually only financial. But I need you guys to get rid of that rich dad, poor dad thing where like a car is a liability. There's toys that can be enjoyed in life. There's setups that can be enjoyed in life. Like I told you guys before, a lot of rich people out there, they own, like a lot of rich men out there, they own modeling companies. They own lingerie companies. They've got shares in these companies because it's an asset to them, number one, financially, but number two, because they have access to these beautiful women and they get invited to all the parties where these women are going to be. And it just gives them access to these girls. It's just, that's an asset to their life. It's like anything that improves your life is an asset. Having a big dick, is that an asset? Of course it is. I think every guy on planet Earth would be like, if I had a 10-inch penis with a decent level of girth, I would be happy. Like, that would be a good bonus for my life. That would be an asset that I can use in my favor to get certain things that I want. Like women do it with their looks all the time. Like they build an OnlyFans, or they ask you for something with the little puppy dog eyes. Like they're using an asset in their favor. Women are fucking great at this. But men, we see everything in financial figures. We've got like an accountant's mindset. It's time that, focus on the finances first. Nail that box. Tick that. Get your finances nailed. But then when you build that life setup, okay, have a serious eye on life enjoyment. You're only on this planet once. Like as much as I've sacrificed everything, haven't had a lot of enjoyment, I'm 29 now. You guys have seen that I'm making a lot of changes to my life, okay? I'm improving a lot of different areas. This time next year, my life will be unrecognizable. You know, but probably by summer, it'll be unrecognizable. A lot of people will be like, damn, he moved quick. But I built up a decent amount of money. The financials are ticked. I can enjoy my time now. I can enjoy a lot more things. I can add some things to my life that are going to, like this penthouse that I'm looking at that I told you guys about. Hopefully I can move in March, okay? That's kind of the plan. If I move in there, it's a podcast studio. Massive benefit to the business. It's an office. It's a massive benefit to the business. It's got a massive kitchen area. I can do a lot more stuff regarding cooking. I can get some chefs on. I can do a lot more diet videos. You know, the bathrooms in there are spectacular. They've got great lighting. I can do a lot more grooming videos and whatnot for you guys. There's benefits in those senses. I can do like influencer parties on product launches. So that's going to get, you know, my clout out there. The channel's going to grow a lot more. Obviously, you know, I'm going to have a better quality of life in there in terms of like women, time with friends, you know, life enjoyment, whatever, entertainment. Like if there's a sports event on and I get all the boys round, that's going to be a great like day. If I host parties and whatnot and I film them, it's content plus enjoyment plus access to women. And yeah, it comes with a bill. The bill's like $2,500 per month. That's a significant bill. That's a right punch in the throat. But if I'm making the money to make that feel like it's just a peanut bill, well then it's an asset. Because without that house, the life wouldn't be as good. I wouldn't be able to enjoy 90% of the things. The podcast wouldn't look as good. You know, if I go and then buy a camera that's like $3,000 instead of this one that I use that's like 330 quid, is that camera an asset? Well, yeah, because I film all my content on it and it makes every video look 10 times better. It's an asset. Do you see what I mean, guys? Like, that's the mindset you've got to have. And when you have that mindset of an asset can be more than just something financial, you make some smart investments that improve your life setup. Now, I'm not saying to go out there and be like, let me go and buy a Ferrari because it's going to improve my life. You probably can't afford it. And if you could afford it, you probably don't need to go to that length. Like you could easily get something like a Panamera and have the same effect because it's so much better than what the average person has got. Okay, so you can be smart with it, but you've got to start seeing assets as like when people say to me, why are you so obsessed with like getting in shape and looks and what? It's an asset. It makes life easier. If you're 10% body fat, you've got like you go to the gym all the time and you're pretty jacked, right? You're a real jacked athletic body, 10% body fat. You got a lean face, good jawline, hollow cheeks, high cheekbones. You know, if you had all of that in place, full head of hair, for example, I went and got SMP. Why'd you get SMP? That's weak. They're assets. They improve your life. You're like, these things make your life better. Like I said, just don't ever forget that. Like a woman with a pretty face and a nice ass and a big pair of tits can have whatever life she wants. If she finds a guy who's a billionaire and she puts it on him, she can probably have that. If she finds the best looking guy in the world, yeah, he's going to have other options, but if she plays her cards right, she's got a high percentage chance of, you know, being with that guy, getting pregnant off that guy, having a better life because of that guy. And it's all stemmed from her assets. This is why so many women try so hard to look good. They dedicate so much time to this shit. It's an asset. And you need to change that mindset, guys, okay? Because if you just keep thinking of assets as financial, you're going to be very wealthy in a very good position, but you're going to be very unhappy. Like, until like a few months ago, was I happy? I was content. Life's not great, though, because I'm not doing fun shit. I was holding out on all of that. But now that's all going to change. And it's a key element, guys. It's a key element. Like I always say to you, like, you don't want to be like 40 years old, 200 million in the bank, stressed out your eyeballs, working 20 hours per day. you got no time for your family, your friends, whatnot, your life's pretty fucking boring, and you go and have a heart attack at 50. Like, that's not... I don't see fun in that. You know, it's like... that person would talk to their accountant and talk about assets and liabilities and financials and figures, and it's like, yeah, you're boring me, you're putting me to sleep, kid. But past a certain point, that money can be used to improve your life in so many different ways. So many different ways. If that's just freeing up time so that you can go and play with your kid at the park, that's an asset. Whatever it is that you put in place to do that, that's an asset. Okay? Whatever it is. Okay? Like, time itself is an asset. But you've got to see it differently. So, just put it this way, guys. An asset is anything that benefits your life. I'll leave you on that note. The rest, the life setup, how you build it, that's completely up to you. I don't want to influence that. But whatever benefits your life, whatever makes you feel better, whatever makes you happier, as long as it doesn't affect you financially, it's an asset. If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement, Male Advantage ebook, or my personal workout and diet plan, all links are in the bio.